It's officially time for dark mode, people. It is officially time for dark mode. What's good? Straight up Tennessee family. Happy Monday. It is the Who is Kentucky show. It's your boy Ruck in the building, man. It's about to be a fire night. Can't wait. Chat's going crazy. I'm telling you right now, it's Tennessee and Kentucky. What more could you ask for? I just need some clarity. What more could you ask for? I'm not sure if you could ask for anything extra. This game, this Saturday, 7:45, dark mode. The stage is set, people, and it's go time. I will be joined today by the boy, the homie, one of my best friends in the world, Lance Asher, who is a massive Kentucky Wildcats fan. If you've been around the channel for a while, you know I bring him on every time we play Kentucky in football or basketball. Lance brings a great insight into who Kentucky is, and we just have a good time. And so I can't wait to have Lance on the show here in a few. We're going to talk about Heupel's press conference. Caleb Perry, Miles Kisselman, and Deshaun Bishop all met with the media today. We're going to get this night started, man. You already know what it is. It's straight up Tennessee, baby. Welcome to the Who is Kentucky show. Let's go.
First play, second quarter, touchdown Tennessee. That throw's intercepted. Pierce down the sideline. Touchdown.
What's up, everybody? Happy Monday, man. Welcome to Straight Up Tennessee. Today, man, it is going to be a great show. Top of the show, though, like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell notification, man, right now so you never miss an episode. Also, man, join the channel, $2. What are y'all doing every single month with $2? Stop buying Starbucks. Stop buying Dunkin'. Stop buying McDonald's because McDonald's got E. coli now anyway. So stop buying McDonald's. Buy you some Straight Up Tennessee, man. Jump in the Straight Up Tennessee family. Get to hop in the Discord, hang with us weekly, daily. We talk in there literally all the time, man. I hope everybody's having a great week so far. I know it's just Monday, but it's hard to have a bad day when you wake up and you see what the Tennessee football media team dropped on today. If you haven't seen it, you know what? If you haven't seen it, I was gonna bless you real quick. Check. Woo! Goodness gracious. Oh my gosh. Tough. Woo. We got the best media team in the country, y'all. It's really simple. Man, let me see. Chris in the building says dark mode. Yes, sir. Adrian, what's happening, my boy? He says, what's happening, man? Y'all, I'm telling you, Saturday night is gonna be a Tennessee Saturday night. It's gonna be a Tennessee Saturday night. I think, yesterday the show was awesome, man. It was nice hanging out with everybody. It was awesome seeing everybody. It was awesome just hanging out because it's hard on bye weeks, man, because it's like you ain't got no Tennessee football. You want to talk about Tennessee football, but it's a good breather for the show as well. Typically I would just hop back on a Monday, but man, Sunday I had to hop on because, man, I had a ton of prep. I had a ton of things that were kind of just going on in my mind, and that's why I did, the how Tennessee should have improved during the bye week. I talked about 3 things. I think they should have got healthy. I think that they should have got timing down as far as wide receiver quarterback exchange. I think that was a big thing that had to improve over the bye. And then lastly, I think that this group is playing well, but I thought that the linebackers have to continue to stride and strive to be better just because of the absence, man. Keenan Pili, you didn't realize how much of an absence he was, until you kind of started to see some of the little small young guy mistakes against Alabama, mostly in pass coverage. I didn't think the run game was bad. I mentioned a lot of over pursuit angles, and we saw that, right? Like kids wanting to go hit, man. And I respect people wanting to go hit, but I think there's a method, there's a way that we got to get there. And so I think the linebackers are super important, and that's another group that really had to improve over the bye week. And overall, man, I just hope that leading into this game Saturday, right, that we are in such a place now that we don't want what happened against Arkansas to come back and happen on Saturday against Kentucky, especially in Neyland Stadium, which it's going to be hard for me to believe that could happen in Neyland. It can now, it can, but it's hard for me to believe that after it happened on the road at Arkansas, that Tennessee is going to show up lackadaisical is the word Dylan Sampson used. I just have a hard time thinking that that's the way they will show up for another big quote unquote rivalry game. Jacqueline Rucker is in the chat throwing up the fire emojis. Adrian says it's about to be a B2A performance from Tennessee. I think so, man. I really do. I think this is the week that Tennessee gets it all clicking. You can see in the title, I said, why Tennessee gets it all clicking. I went back and looked at my drive chart, some of my little quick things from the Alabama game, and it just made me want to kind of, I guess, unpack this before we bring Lance on and we talk about the Kentucky Wildcats, man, tonight and what Tennessee has to look forward to. I thought about this. There were so many drives where we were yards. Hold on, y'all. I got to sneeze, I think. Well, not yet, but I might have to in a second. There were so many drives. We're like a yard, 45, like just close to getting back to that explosiveness that we're used to seeing in the Heupel offense. The scheme, I said this yesterday, I said this last night, the scheme is not dead. The scheme is there. The plays are there. Guys are running wide open. But you miss Chris Brazzell on a fly route on the outside. You miss Squirrel Wright on a skinny post. That was a touchdown. You miss you miss who was that again? It might have been Brazzell again down the opposite sideline. I think trajectory was out of bounds. You missed Chaz Nimrod. We missed. Nico missed. But the positives are that those balls are actually getting there now, and the pocket is clean. We've struggled with clean pockets all year long. And now that we're seeing clean pockets, it's almost like an eye-opener for Nico, right? Like, imagine you being in a role at work, or imagine you being in something and the same thing continues to happen that leads you to failure or leads you to disappointment. And then just one random day, you get there and it just kind of works, but you still are failing. Like, you still are doing things the incorrect way. That's where Nico was last week. It's been countless games where the pocket's not clean. He's getting pressured, sacked. He's having to force the football downfield, or he's forcing it anyways because of the lack thereof of a clean pocket. Well, against Alabama, you got clean pockets all night, and you still were missing guys. And I think, y'all, it's now, this is what I mean, is that's not going to happen anymore. I think the excitement from oh my gosh, I have a clean pocket, I can make this throw. It's now calm down. Don't worry about the pocket. The pocket will be there. And make the play. I mean, we saw it last week. There were a ton of misses on clean pockets, and they're there. And so now I think this is the kind of game where you got a team who's struggling offensively. You got a team who's still doing good things defensively. They've been this way, though. That's the thing about Kentucky for me, is that every year we talk about the defense. Every year we talk about Deion Walker. Every year we talk about Maxwell Harrison. You get a great transfer in Dumas Johnson from Georgia. Like, we talk about the defense all the time. But it's like every time they play Tennessee, they forget how to do that. Like, they just completely forget that they've been top 5 in the SEC, top 5 in the country. Like, they just forget. And something happens. And this is a great get-right game for Tennessee. This is a great get-right game for Nico. I mean, it's perfectly aligned for us. As Kentucky's been getting beat up every week by bad football teams, somehow they continue to lose. It's just a good week if you are a Tennessee Vol. It's a good week. You see what I got on? Dark, it's engaged. Look, wrong side. Pop, pop. Engaged, man. Like, it's going to be a great game. Don't get me wrong. I think Kentucky's going to come out and fight. They always do to start the game, but there's going to be a turning point. If Tennessee can score, here's the thing. I'll say this right now, and then we'll hit the chat, and then we'll bring my man Lance on and talk about just who Kentucky is and just dive into the rest of tonight. But the reason Tennessee gets it clicking is this reason. Kentucky's going to start, and they're going to do what I said they do last night against Tennessee, against really everybody this year, but specifically against Tennessee. The goal is to win time of possession. But the struggle with us so far is that we've actually had longer drives because we've struggled. But I don't see us having 0 points in the first half against this team. It just can't happen anymore. I think there's been too many opportunities left on the field, and this is the week that if we score in the first half, it's going to be a long night for the Wildcats. Let's go to the chat real quick. My man Dylan Elam in the building says Brock Vandagriff is going to be seeing ghost all night. Well, they benched him last week and brought in, I can't remember his name, like Gavin Winston or something like that. And so Duke can ball. He can play. He can run. I don't know about deep down the field. I don't know about what he can do, but that's why obviously I got Lance on the show for that tonight here in a few minutes. Heupel met with the media. I don't know if everybody got the opportunity to see about the press. It was a casual Heupel interview, right? Like, we know what Heupel does, especially when it's game week. He's very dry. He's like, I mean, they didn't even ask about the injury report. I'm interested to see the injury report on Wednesday. Who's good to go, right? The whole bye week is what we needed. We needed health. We needed everybody to get healthy. We needed everybody to rest. Nobody even asked him about the injury report. So that makes me think everybody already knows, like, we good to go, which is another plus for Tennessee. I do still think Squirrel White does not need to play. He is hurting us, man. He's hurting us more than he's helping us. But I get it. He's a dog and he's playing through the pain. And so as much as you love that as a fan, you hate it because there's plays left out on the field due to the injury. So there's that. But one of the things that they asked Heupel specifically that I kind of want to dive into, and then we'll move on in the show. They pretty much were asking him, what did he see specifically from Jermod McCoy? How is Jermod McCoy playing at such a high level in the transition from Oregon State to the SEC? And he just said his maturity. He talked about the maturity of Jermod McCoy, a 19-year-old kid who was coming out of high school, played wide receiver. He changed his body. He changed his mentality, changed just a little bit of his technique to now at Oregon State. His first stop, he played a lot of corner, didn't really play on the offensive side of the football. Obviously at Tennessee, he's playing corner as well. Josh Heupel just honestly put that all towards his maturity and how he comes into the building. how he strains his competitive composure is the adjective that Heupel used. Just said like his competitive composure is what solidifies him to being where he is right now. Rhonda Leverett says, you guys are thinking about Mincy any? Not at all. Not at all. He might get hurt play 3. Like the boy get hurt every game. Like Gerald Mincy is not in any Tennessee's fans' mind other than we can't wait to scream at him on Saturday because he don't know how to be quiet. Aaron Duck in the building. What's up, Aaron? He doesn't even put any text. He just white, orange checkerboard, then the black and orange checkerboard. Go Big Orange. Shout out to you, Aaron. But back to the Jermon McCoy thing. Jermon McCoy is the number 1 corner according to PFF. The numbers don't lie. 2 interceptions on the year. Punt return coverage is great. His pass breakup, just efficiency in the 90s. Like he's an elite starter according to PFF. I want to see him get more interceptions. I think he has more on the table. And what a week to continue to rack up your stat line. But man, y'all, I just want to say tell y'all this, man. This brother right here that I'm bringing on to this show, that's my dog. That's my boy. Lance, what's up, man?
How are you, sir?
Man, bro, I'm just good. I'm just happy to see you, bro.
Happy to see you too, man. Do I sound okay?
Sound great.
Level-wise, good? All right, good. Thanks for having me on. Man, I want to say I really am super, like, just so happy that this podcast has gone the way it's gone for you because you deserve it. You are like a real fan, and from somebody who's, representing a different fandom than you are the best kind of fan, if I may say so myself, because you, you and I can still love each other at the end of the day. And
Dude,
that's what it's all about.
I tell everybody this. They're like, bro, how can you not be so biased when you watch your team? Or like, I'm like, listen, I said I knew, like, I'm not the media. People do come here for information. Like they want to know, like they think I know the inside. I don't. I just have subscriptions to people who do, and I read about it. But I told myself and I told people, they're like, bro, how are you so unbiased? I said, when I decided it, and me and Turn were like, bro, we're gonna do this show. Like, we're gonna do this thing for real. Like my like hardcore like Homer mentality, I threw it out of the window because I wanted to provide like actual insight. Like if we sucked, I would tell you like, bro, we suck at this. Like, right, our offensive line, I still don't know. I saw great pockets against Alabama, which was shocking. And then against horrible teams like Florida, they're just not very good. We absolutely getting wrecked. So it's like, I just had to kind of throw out my Homer big time. Like I'm still all ball. And if I'm at the game, I'm talking crazy, right? But like when I'm talking here, I got to be realistic. And that's what I've done. So
yeah,
just who
I like that.
Be.
Well, you deserve it, man. You deserve it. And Turner too.
Yeah.
Miss you, Turner.
Thanks, bro. Brian, let me tell you this before we even hop into the game on Saturday. What have you thought about Kentucky basketball exhibition wise? Have they played anybody? I know we played Indiana on Sunday and we look just like we always do. We are just the best defensive team in the absolute country, but we don't have a go-to guy. Dalton Knecht was that guy. Yeah. And it's just so strange. Like it's so weird because there's guys on the team, bro, that can score, but it's like nobody wants to be the guy except a 5'9" dude that don't need to be the guy. Like just pass the ball and dribble and handle your business, Zakai.
Yeah.
Don't come down with 24 seconds left in the game, down by 3, and yank a 3 from 32 feet.
He'll do it.
It's a bad shot. It's a bad shot. That's what happened Sunday. Like that's what happened. We're down 3. There's 33 seconds on the clock. He rushes down and yanks a 3 over a guy that's 6'4", clonk. And it's just like we're the same team. Like we're gonna, and look, the thing that's gonna happen is we're gonna be in every single game we play. It don't matter if it's Duke, it don't matter if it's Kentucky, it don't matter if it's we're gonna be in every game because defensively we will lock you up. But we tend to lose games in the last 4 minutes every time because you don't have a dog that can score. And so I don't know
Yeah.
if I'm excited or not. So we'll see what happens. But Kentucky, Lord have mercy, they can shoot the basketball.
Dude, especially the way that Kentucky football season's gone, I'll sit here and talk about basketball for as long as you want to. But no, I love what I've seen. I mean, for the first time in like a decade, like I'm not about to say what you just said about Rick Barnes. Like I'm not about to see the same thing I've been seeing for forever.
100%.
Because the days of John Calipari are over. And
which God, Arkansas looks good.
Bro, I was about to say that exhibition against Kansas. I watched it.
Dude,
I had to see. And exhibitions don't always mean a lot. So,
no.
but Arkansas blew them up, dude.
And I know Hunter Dickinson didn't play.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I don't know if it's just the color change. Like, I don't know. I was like, they don't really like they just out there hooping. Really, like they weren't really in
there were
stats,
so many times watching that game where I was just like, he's literally doing the same thing. I mean, that's like he's doing the same stuff. It's let him run.
Yep.
But if you got, if DJ Wagner and Boogie Fland are going to combine for 45 or 50 every night, then who knows? I don't know what Arkansas could be, but enough of that nonsense. I don't want to see John Calipari, calling the Hogs, doing whoop pig suey. I'm not looking forward to it, but I am very excited about this season. I'm excited to see something new and different. I think Mark Pope is. I'm sold now. I wasn't at first when they announced that that's the guy. I was like, he played for Kentucky in the 90s, right? That guy.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, yeah, come on, we're gonna win number 9 this year. It's happening. So I'm stoked, man. I really am pumped. The team can shoot. I mean, everybody literally like top to bottom will pull from 3, and we haven't had a Kentucky team ever. Since I've been alive that really plays that way. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a fun season. I think the SEC slate for basketball this year is going to be just as crazy as it always has been, and mixing up a few new teams as well, just like it has in football. Kind of, might rattle some stuff. But I think the teams will be the teams. I think it'll be Tennessee, Kentucky, Arkansas, Florida, Alabama. I don't want to put them up there, but they do.
They will be.
They might be pretty good.
They'll be fine.
They'll shoot a lot of threes.
They will shoot a ton of threes.
And die by it, but
now they got somebody that can rebound them. So,
but anyways, there's a football game happening.
There is. I got my man Aaron Duck in the building. He says, "Keep it real, Ruck. It's gonna be a long night for Kentucky." Listen, I didn't say anything. That's y'all. Y'all always do this. Y'all come in here, I bring guests in, and y'all start talking crazy. Which go ahead, just do it. It's fine. Jonah Hudson says, "I think it's time for the basketball team to go dark mode." I think Rick Barnes says something about that. Like they are going to have a black uniform. Yeah,
I like that.
I don't know when, but supposedly they say there's supposed to be a black uniform at some point this year. So we'll see.
Yeah, the black uniforms are nasty. And honestly, once I saw that was happening for this weekend, I was like, oh boy.
Lance, bro, obviously Kentucky, man, like it's another weird year. It's just weird. How do you get absolutely raced by South Carolina and then you beat Ole Miss, which we knew Ole Miss was kind of fraud from the beginning. Like I was like, here's the thing. Is Ole Miss good? Yes. But I always thought, man, their schedule was so trash. They beaten all these bad teams, and then they play a little bit of competition or a really good defense. And Kentucky hung in the whole game, and they won that game. Yep. But ever since that game, I don't know what happened. Like, it's just like everything went wrong. So, like, at this point in the season, who's Kentucky? What are they bringing to Knoxville? What's happening in Lexington?
Yeah, bro. There's not one answer to that, but who is Kentucky at this point in the season, man? They got to decide. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I don't think it's ever just one person. Like, I don't think it's just Stoops. I don't think it's just, Brock Vandagriff. Like, it's not just one person necessarily, but I don't know. I saw a tweet from somebody yesterday. I can't remember who it was, or I'd let them know. But we gave up like over 200 rushing yards to one guy on Auburn's team.
I thought that was insane.
And the tweet said something to the effect of, you don't the only kind of defense that lets that happen is one that has quit on their coach. And I was like, I didn't want to hear that, but that's not what you want. And Stoops he's a defense guy. Like, that's what we always talk about. If there's anything we can at least, thank you, Rhonda. I agree. I am also happy we beat Ole Miss. Forget Lane Kiffin. He sucks.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know who we are. But not to go straight back to basketball, but I honestly, I kind of feel the same way about Mark Stoops that I was starting to feel about Calipari. Like, I love you. Thank you. But you and I both know this is not really working out anymore. You know, it's like when you have to break up, but you don't want to. It feels like that with Stoops. And honestly, now his contract buyout, if it happened today, is like $44 million. Because he's locked in through, I think, 2031, if I remember correctly. Somebody can fact check me there, but I mean that's hefty. So I don't think Kentucky's going to be eager to lob, $40 million to the wind just to get rid of a football coach.
No.
However, the ire that they have drawn from fans is peaking, and I think there's a huge fan base for Kentucky football, like in Lexington especially, but in the whole state. And there are a lot of people who like could care less about basketball in Kentucky and love football. That might be shocking to some people.
That is strange.
But those people exist. And I think we've been like teased like enough at this point that like it's really, really devastating and hard to watch like another season just not follow through. Like that we lost by 1 to Georgia in Athens, and then we beat Ole Miss at home. But on the other side of that, on the calendar, we have like a 30-point loss to South Carolina. And then since then we've, just LLL. So, to answer your original question, who are we at this point of the season, dude? I don't have a clue. They got to decide. I think if anybody on that team wants to win on Saturday, like it will be infectious, but it's got to happen fast. I really don't see a scenario where we're down early and it ends up going our way. That would be the hardest way to win this game, I think, for Kentucky. And so if we can hang in there and make it a grinder like we did against Georgia or some of these other close games, we have a chance. But even I, as a Kentucky fan, I'm not going into this game this weekend thinking like we got something here. Like I'm thinking like, okay, we gotta figure something out, man. I know before I jumped on, you mentioned about absolutely false. We'll never forget Kiffin.
Yeah.
He's burned into the brain.
Gross.
He does that to you. But it's Brock Vandagriff, at least in my opinion, has done basically nothing wrong. Like, he hasn't been maybe quite as incredible as some people were hyping him up to, or making it seem like he could be. But for him to get benched last week, like, it was a head scratcher, because he just kept getting sacked like over and over again. Like, what is he supposed to do? Like, the offensive line is like, having just an off day, or an off season, I guess at this point it'd be fair to say. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's just, running like the 2 quarterback thing, like in the middle of the season, like when you don't have, I don't know. It just, seems like a weird grasping at straws, kind of like, let's see what can happen here. I don't like gambling in the middle of the season. I also don't like gambling against Tennessee, obviously, especially in Knoxville. So I really would like to hear Stoops talk this week with some confidence at all in anything about this team. I'd love to hear that. He didn't do media today. He sent two of his or a coordinator and a coach to do that. And so, which it happens occasionally, is whatever. But I don't know, man. I can't say I'm thrilled about the way that this season is going. And there've been moments where I've been pretty stoked. So, and honestly, even that loss to Georgia, I was like, I'm a Kentucky fan here, like watching this game. So like,
Yeah.
I'll take a 1-point loss in Athens.
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
Better than the alternative, which is usually we get beat by 1,000. So
Yeah.
I don't know. So I would love to see a good game this weekend. I would really. I don't think I'll be able to make it to the game in person, unfortunately. But if that changes for some reason, you'll be the first person I let know.
Good. I'll be there.
Been a few years since I've been to a Tennessee Kentucky game. All these years I've never been to a Kentucky football game in Lexington.
Interesting. I don't think I've been
Never
to
done it. I'd love to.
I've been to Lexington for many of things, but I've seen Kroger Field. I've never been to a game at Kroger Field either, but I'm hoping to change that next year. So
I hope they change the name away from Kroger Field and back to Commonwealth Stadium. But
yep, Commonwealth Stadium.
I'm gonna have to keep hoping.
Hey, chat, go ahead and drop questions for Lance just about Kentucky, little things like that. My man Jonah already knows the drill. He drops one for you, Lance. He says, does Kentucky have an answer for Tennessee's front seven defensively? Does Kentucky's offensive line have an answer to Tennessee's defense?
No, I don't think so. I mean, this is where you have to either just choose to be like a realistic fan or a hopeful fan, like delusional. Like, I want to answer this question and say yes, like so badly, but could we? Yes. Do we? I have to say no, like based on what I've seen so far. So, is it possible that we have an answer on Saturday? It's possible. Is it likely? Heck no.
I was thinking just about the last few years, right? I think about 2021 Kentucky. I think y'all were ranked 19th in the country. Tennessee was unranked. It was our first year with Heupel. We go to Lexington and somehow win that game. I think we won the game because Will Levis threw a pick six to Alontae Taylor.
He threw a pick to close it out. Yep.
And we ran this pick six in. That was 2021.
What a vision of the future.
God, Lee, don't talk about the Titans. I told my show I was sorry for even bringing Titans content earlier this year. I was so pissed off about it because they are so bad, dude.
Look, nobody wanted to believe in Will Levis more than me.
Hey, listen, I started to, man. He came in, had a couple of he did that at Kentucky. He would have games where you're like, oh my God, like
honestly, the whole first season that he had at Kentucky was great. And we had a first time offensive coordinator that year. It was Liam Cohen, who came from the Rams. Yeah. So he, brought like a new pro style thing that we hadn't done before. And it seemed to work, for Will in that season. Well, then Liam Cohen leaves, goes back to the Rams. We hire, can't even remember his name. We hired him from the 49ers. It was terrible. It was like one of the worst seasons ever. Will Levis looked like he didn't know how to play football anymore. Tanked his own draft stock, played through an injury. Maybe. I still don't even know if that was true or not.
Who knows what was going on?
We'll never know if the toe was like, I don't know. But how'd we get here? I don't know. But
I was just going through 21, how Tennessee won that game. I don't know.
Yeah.
2022 was just a dark game for Will Levis. 3 interceptions. It's just ugly.
It's just one.
Last year,
you want to forget.
Last year was just a banger of a game, and somehow we come out on that game because Dylan Sampson literally just, honestly, I'm just gonna say it like this: like he dropped his nuts and just like said, "I'm that guy, and we're gonna win this game." And somehow he went crazy that game, and that was kind of like the first time I think Tennessee fans realized, like, oh, Samp is like like that. Like he's that guy.
He's different, man.
But we just had Jalen Wright last year, so it was just so hard to like get Dylan Sampson as many touches as he can get now. And that leads us back here. Another dark mode game Saturday. Rhonda asks you, man. She says, "Why do you think Kentucky had such a decline? Like just coaching, or
like I said, I never want to like blame one person, and it's probably never just one person's fault. But like, doesn't it kind of have to be just coaching at this point?
you would think?
I'm not really sure what else reasonably you could address, because like the coaches are the ones who recruited these kids. The coaches are the ones who spend time with them every day.
Yeah.
The coaches are the ones who walk with them through film and game plans, and you get to Saturday and it's like, look, I've never played any meaningful kind of organized football. So sure, probably some stuff I don't know, but like you would think that like some level of execution is possible, even if you're playing against a team that's better than you, because at the very least, like you could see the effort in the planning and the preparation. Even if you're getting smacked 60-3, you can tell the difference in a team who believed in the game plan that they were going to bring and a team who just assumed they were going to lose. And so they did.
Yep.
And there's been so many times this season in the games that we've lost where I feel like you've seen so many guys start playing not to lose instead of playing to win. Like there's no like, samurai's honor of dying a worthy death of like, I would rather lose the right way, like there's no, I don't see any of that. There's no tenacity. There's no urgency. Like, it's just like, I don't want to lose. And like, Mark Stoops has been there for long enough now that like, it has to be just coaching at this point. Like, and it's not a slight against him personally. I think Mark Stoops is a great guy, but like, like I said earlier, it's kind of like when you need to break up and you don't want to. Like it has to just be coaching at this point, because we've changed offensive coordinators, we've changed defensive coordinators, we've had multiple special teams coaches. All of those positions have changed, even just within the last 5 years, more than once, almost each of them. And the one thing that hasn't changed is Mark Stoops at the top. And so, my honest assessment at this point, as a very casual football fan at best, I'll admit, is I think he's hit his ceiling. He did it. Like the best that he was ever going to do at Kentucky has already been done. I think that's certainly is possible, if not completely the truth.
Aaron Duck hits you with another one. Says Mike Norvell, he's at Florida State. He might be available. Is Kentucky interested in him? What are the BBN boards saying?
Nothing. As far as I can tell, I think everybody's just kind of like, it's the buyout. Like it's the $44 million is the problem. Like, and it was the same with Calipari. Like he chose to leave on his own. The school would have had to pay, what it was, $38 million or something like that to buy him out of his contract. He's already in the Hall of Fame. Like he could lose every game next season. They'd still have a hard time firing him.
Exactly.
That's a lot of money. And Stoops is owed $44 million if we fire him at the end of the season.
Bro, that's insane. I didn't know that it was 44.
It's insane. And that last extension was like, maybe not that one, maybe not that much, and maybe not quite for that long. And I think everybody kind of felt that way. Was
that
like,
after the 10-2 year? Was that when they extended him?
I want to say he signed one extension then, and then signed one more like 2 years ago.
Just like after another pretty decent year, they just gave him more.
I think it was something like that. It might have been after Will Levis's first year, actually, that we were just talking about. I could be wrong.
21.
But yes, I could be a little off there. But either way, it's like from the school's perspective, $44 million that's a pretty hefty amount. And so, but how do you hold a coach accountable for performing well below like expected standards,
Yeah.
like while also paying him $12 million a year. And he knows he's going to get it. Now, again, I believe Mark Stoops is a true like competitor. Like, I don't think he's in it for money. I think this dude loves football. I think he
For
loves
sure.
to win.
He's got that grit.
But dadgummit, dude, there's something's missing somewhere. Like, it's and like I said, he's the only thing that hasn't changed.
Yeah.
Like, I want to believe in Mark Stoops so bad because, like, truly has done so much for the football program. Could never be understated and will always be appreciated. If he left tomorrow, I think he'd be appreciated for what he's done. But like I said, something's up.
Yeah.
And it's been over a decade now. Like, if the best we can do is 10-3 and a maybe a bowl win or two every couple of years, like, that's great. I think a lot of schools would love to have that too. And I think most Kentucky fans have somewhat realistic expectations, but isn't it also fair to want more? Like
100%. Yeah.
Isn't
That's how we are in Knoxville, bro. You know that.
Yeah.
Tennessee fans are not okay.
No.
Okay. When like if we were to win 9 games somehow and lose 2 games from here out, oh buddy.
Yeah. But like, this because I've lived in Knoxville my whole life too. Like, I've seen this happen too. Like, I've lived here for for Dooley and for Butch and for all of it, So like,
Let's take a moment of silence.
I know. I probably shouldn't have even said those names.
Oh my gosh.
Has anybody worn orange pants like on the sidelines at a football game since
since that
Dooley
boy
left?
did it. Nope.
I would love. Who would? If Lane Kiffin ever comes back to Knoxville for any reason, I swear he would show up in orange pants just for that.
He would. This man Jonah Hudson hops in, says, "I've only seen short highlights this year for Kentucky. What is their biggest strength this year?" Oh, I mean, I can answer that, bro. Defensively, Deion Walker. He is a massive man.
He's a dog.
He is a massive guy, 6'6", like 300, but like he's not like your casual, like the guy from Florida, like what's his name, something Watson. He's like 6 something and just fat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
big.
Deion's like 6'6", 320 and can move. Like, he can.
It's like he could almost
move.
Play basketball, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would agree. Biggest strength is definitely on the defensive side of the ball. But just in general, I don't even know if I'd give one person necessarily, other than who you just mentioned, the nod. But, biggest strength on the offensive side should be our receivers. Dane Key and Berrien Brown, I think should be our biggest weapons.
Now, what happened with Brown last week? Did he get injured or did something happen? Because I saw he had 1 catch for 8 yards.
It was something weird. Like, even people on Twitter or X, whatever, were like, trying to like nobody could figure out exactly what was going on. It seemed like it was one of those situations where maybe he kind of like tweaked something, but they didn't want to like, say too much or address it as a certain thing. So I don't know. As far as I know, he's planning on being good to go for Saturday, but there's still kind of a weird, like, little bit of a cloud over it. I don't know.
And what's the status with Maxwell Harrison? I know he was injured early in the year. Like, is he still out?
Yes, but I think I read that he's like getting closer to being like ready to play this season again. Because I guess there was like a question at some point of whether or not he'd even be ready to go at any point this season again. So, gosh, would that change some things for us to have him back on Saturday? Holy cow. Haven't seen anything that would indicate that that's a possibility, unfortunately, but hopefully he's making good progress, and it can only go up from here. So
You'd hope
if he comes back this season, we'll see, might be able to make something happen, but I don't know. That Ole Miss win is just going to be the one thing I go back to, I think, for this season, and just be like, how did we do that?
Especially on the road.
Yeah. It's a tough place to win. I think if I remember correctly, it was the first time we'd won there on the road in 30 years or more. Like something like that. Like that's
Well,
insane.
I'll tell you, that week of football was just strange, though.
That was a
That
weird
was just
week.
a strange week of football, man. Tennessee lost that week. Ole Miss lost that week. Bama lost to Vanderbilt. Missouri lost that week. Oregon or Ohio State lost that. It was just a strange week of football.
I think that's when we saw like what the SEC kind of was going to be.
Oh, yep,
It's
100%.
a slaughter fest, and like I think there's more of those like mid-tier teams maybe this year, or it feels that way because there's just more teams in general in the league. But
Yep.
I mean, it seems like anybody like at the top is capable of beating each other on any given day,
For sure.
and anybody in that middle tier like has a chance at those good teams.
Absolutely.
And then there's like that next level below
But
that.
it's like they're just not talented enough yet.
Yeah, and like Kentucky's like we're like jumping back and forth between like level 2 and level 3 here. Like
Yep.
I don't know what we're doing. I don't know who we
Yep.
are. I don't know what we're going to see on Saturday. We could lose by 60. We could win by 2 touchdowns. I have no clue.
I can't wait to find out. Hey, chat, as we wrap up, y'all know how we do on the Who Is show, on the Monday show. Go ahead right now, everybody. Drop your early week score predictions. It's Monday. It's early, but how y'all feeling? I need everybody to drop them. We'll talk about them here in just a second. But Lance, let's just talk about us right now. Early in the week, I'm looking at the ESPN betting. I'm looking at FanDuel. Right now, that spread continues to go up. Surprisingly, the spread now is 16.5 Tennessee. Now that the over under is kind of stayed at the same place. It's 45.5, which considering Tennessee's offense has not been as explosive as it's been, the plays are there.
I'm
And if
taking
they
the
hit
under
them,
on that one.
if they hit them, then I mean, you could definitely take over. But right now, 45.5 feels pretty dang perfect. Maybe even taking the under.
I'm taking under on that.
That spread, that number, I can see it, but I don't know with how Tennessee's offense has been. But I think this is a game, like I talked about earlier in tonight's show. Like, I think this is the game that things get clicking, especially when you're bringing a team into your house. You're wearing the dark mode unis. Like, there's a lot of hype around it, and you're coming off a bye week. You're rested, right? How
and
do
both
you
of
feel?
these teams really like to beat each other.
Yes,
Like
yes.
neither of these teams should have trouble getting like hyped for the
For
game.
this game, absolutely.
Shouldn't be a problem.
On a Monday, Lance, how are you? What's the score prediction for you? What are you looking like on Saturday?
I'll say this: I have never given a score prediction and picked against my own team. I just won't do it. I refuse. I won't do it. I will not do it. So I think the only realistic way Kentucky wins a game like this is with a final score of something like, I'm going to go 16-14 Kentucky.
That sounds like some Kentucky stuff, bro.
16. I'm going 16-14 Kentucky.
Oh,
we might get a safety. I don't know. Like that's the kind of weird stuff that's going to have to happen for us to win this game.
Yeah.
So happy Halloween, folks. We'll see what happens.
Oh man, for myself, you look at the matchups, you look at how Tennessee's been, but you look at film. If you watch film, you can see like the plays are there. Tennessee always seems to turn it around in any season against Kentucky. It's like, it's either the game that puts Tennessee's season below, like when we lost to Kentucky 6 years ago, when freaking, I can't even remember freaking dude's name that played.
Lynn Bowden Jr.
Yeah, when freaking Lynn Bowden was just running all over us as a wide receiver, a converted quarterback, He was in there. He was a wide
Dude,
receiver.
Listen to this. A little trivia. In that at the end of that season, he led the team in passing yards, rushing yards, and receiving yards.
Dude, it was an interesting time.
I've
But
never
when
seen
like
never seen anything like it.
that was what put us under, right? But it's like
Yeah.
it's also the game that Tennessee gets things together and gets back to their roots. And I just think when you look at the matchups, you look at the health of Georgia, sorry, of Kentucky. You look at how Tennessee's got a bye week, came off a bye week. I just don't see the matchups being good for Kentucky. Tennessee's defense has been its strength. Kentucky's offense is abysmal. And so it's just kind of like I can see defensive touchdowns from both teams potentially. I am going to take go ahead.
Kentucky did not name a starting quarterback today in the media presser. I forgot to mention that when they were asked about it by reporters, they were like, they gave the old like politician's answer.
Yep.
We're evaluating everything at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I hate that crap.
What are you evaluating? One of these guys transferred from Georgia. He's pretty good. And he's played a lot. Maybe we should just
play him. Yeah.
Let that why he has no incentive to stay here next season at all if he gets benched halfway through the year and not even for doing a bad job.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know. I'm frustrated about that, but
so I'm going to take the under, but I think this is the game Tennessee kind of puts it all together. There's not been a team score more than 20 points, and Kentucky's score more than 20 points on Tennessee, and Kentucky's definitely not scoring 20 points on Tennessee. I'm going to take the Vols 31-13, right under 44 points is where I'm at. I think 31-13. I think it's a game early. I really do. I think it's something maybe even in the third quarter, bro. Like it might be 13-10 Kentucky. Like Kentucky just kind of came out hot, but Tennessee is a second half team in general. And that just something about that second half, Neyland is just going to play a lot into the game. So,
and we have been the exact opposite.
Yep.
All season long. Great first half. Not great at holding it together for the second. So that's what I mean by it's going to take every single miracle to go our way on Saturday to win.
My man Tim Rice drops in, says 38-9 Vols. Jonah Hudson says, I think it's a low-scoring game with a defensive touchdown on both sides, 24-10 Vols. I can see that. I see that's a world. Rhonda says 28-12 Vols. I mean, that's definitely a score as well. He says, Chris, Vols by 50. He didn't even give a score.
Cats by 90.
Vols by 50. Tim Rice says Vols find their offense this week, no doubt. 38-9. I love it, Tim. I love it. Tim Rice says, don't be a Gerald. yeah. Don't be a Gerald Mincy. Y'all, man, it's been a fire show. Thank you, Lance, bro, for popping in, man. Like you always do.
Thank you for having me, man.
Almost basketball season, bro. We're gonna be able to chop it up here again soon. It's gonna, literally Monday. We kick like everybody plays Monday. Who y'all got first?
Duke.
Oh, good luck.
Champions Classic.
Good luck.
We do have one game before that. I don't remember what it is. It's a rando, but yeah, basically start the season with against Duke in the Champions Classic. And they played their exhibition game yesterday and they beat that team, whatever that was, like 103-50. So
Cooper
should be.
I'm gonna just say this and then I'm gonna try to make the show. I'm gonna go off. Cooper Flagg is the coldest white boy. He colder than Dalton Connect, bro. That boy is
man.
cold.
I didn't want to believe the hype, especially once he ended up picking Duke. I was just like, nah. But dadgummit, dude, he looks pretty good.
That boy cold. White boy is cold. Y'all, we'll be back Friday. Me, C2 will be back, man. It's going to be a fire night. Just to wrap it up, one more day episode. We'll talk more. We got Pump the Gas, Hit the Brake. We got everything on Friday. So, Lance, bro, thank you for blessing us with your time, man. Lance picks Kentucky, man. 16-14. I've got the Vols 31-13. I love everybody's score predictions, but y'all, man, we'll be back on Friday, same time, same place. When you wake up on Friday morning, you're going to have a show. Hit that bell notification, join the channel, $2, man. Stop buying McDoubles and Dunkin' Coffee, man. Just join the Straight Up Tennessee family. It's easy. $2 a month, man. Helps us, helps the channel grow. but it also gets you into the Straight Up Tennessee Discord where you can chop it up with us all day, all night. We literally talk all the time. So we love y'all. We appreciate it, man. For my guy Lance, it's your boy Ruck in the building, man. It's Straight Up Tennessee, baby. We'll see you back on Friday. I keep wanting to say live, but we're not live on Friday because we shoot on Thursday. So, but we'll see you back Friday for the one more day, man. It's Tennessee, Kentucky, dark mode. Let's go.
Go.